There's someone out there right now who absolutely hates themselves for letting you slip away. They had you, they loved you, and they blew it. Now they're sitting in regret, watching you thrive from a distance while they're trapped in a karmic family situation they can't escape. The universe delivered exactly what they deserved. While they're stuck dealing with the consequences of their choices, bound by karmic chains they created, you're free and flourishing. They see it all happening, powerless to change their reality. Their loss became your liberation. Let them dwell in their regret while you continue rising. That's just how energy works when you mess with someone magical. They wake up sweating every night, heart racing, breath catching, eyes wide open to the darkness that surrounds them, not because of nightmares, but because of memories of you. They never expected to feel this way, never, but the universe has a way of forcing truth into even the most resistant hearts. And the truth burns them from the inside out. Remember how they pushed you away? How do they dismiss your love like it was nothing? How they looked you in the eyes and told you that what you offered wasn't enough, that you weren't enough. They lied, not just to you, to themselves. And now that lie has become the poison they drink every day, every hour, every goddamn minute, because now they know, now they understand. Losing you wasn't just some random choice, some forgettable moment, some small mistake that time would erase. No. Losing you was the cosmic turning point of their entire existence. The moment the stars realigned, the moment their fate sealed itself into a pattern they cannot escape. You were the fork in the road. You were the choice that mattered, and they chose wrong. Now look at them, trapped in a karmic cycle so powerful it threatens to crush their very soul. Every morning they wake up and put on the mask their family approves of. Every day they walk through motions that mean nothing. Every night they lie in bed staring at ceilings that feel like prison bars, all while thinking of you. The regret follows them everywhere. It sits beside them at family dinners as they force smiles and nod at conversations that feel like foreign languages. It shadows them through board meetings where they make decisions that build a legacy they no longer believe in. It waits for them in empty parking lots after everyone else has gone home, when there's no one left to perform for. The regret has become their constant companion, their only authentic relationship, the only thing that feels real in a life built entirely on falsehoods. And the worst part, the absolute worst part, they deserve every second of this torment. They earned this suffering when they looked at the greatest gift the universe ever offered them, your love, and rejected it for the hollow approval of people who have never truly seen them. You need to understand where they came from, to understand why they failed you. Their story didn't begin with rejection. It began with subjugation. From the moment they drew their first breath, invisible chains were placed around their spirit. Tradition, status, expectation. These weren't just words in their household. They were law, sacred and immutable. Their family didn't raise children. They cultivated legacies. They didn't nurture hearts. They programmed minds. Love was conditional. Acceptance was earned. Freedom was never an option. Remember who you are, their father would say, meaning remember whose you are. Remember you belong to us. Remember your purpose is to serve the family name. Think of what people will say, their mother would whisper, meaning your authentic self is dangerous. Your true desires are shameful. Your individual happiness is worthless compared to our collective reputation. They grew up watching siblings who dared to rebel being cut off, watching cousins who chose love over duty being erased from family photos, family stories, family memory. They grew up learning that divergence meant death, not of the body, but of belonging. And belonging was everything, so they learned. They adapted. They buried their true self so deep that eventually they forgot where they'd hidden it. They became what was expected, the perfect heir, the flawless representative, the empty vessel filled only with family pride. Then you came along. You, with your unrestrained laughter that echoed through rooms like forbidden music. You, with your eyes that saw through every mask they'd ever worn. You, with your love that asked for nothing but truth in return. You terrified them, because loving you meant finding that buried self. Loving you meant defying every lesson they'd ever learned. Loving you meant risking everything they'd been told mattered. For one brief, glorious moment, they stood at the precipice of freedom. Your hand extended, offering escape, offering protection from the life that was slowly killing them. All they had to do was take it. All they had to do was choose you. But the chains were too strong. The programming too deep, the fear too overwhelming, so they chose obligation over heart. They chose family expectations over your unconditional love. They chose the prison they knew over the freedom that terrified them, and that choice has become their punishment, the family bonds they cherished. Now they feel like shackles, the traditions they honored. Now they recognize as control mechanisms, the legacy they were so proud to uphold. Now they see as nothing but generational trauma passed down like some twisted inheritance. Every holiday gathering feels like a performance they're forced to give. Every family photo hides the screaming inside their head. Every toast to family above all makes them want to shatter their glass and use the shards to cut themselves free. But they can't, because those chains weren't just placed around them, they were built into them. Their very bones are forged from family expectations. Their blood flows with ancestral demands. Their mind was shaped by generations of the same toxic patterns they're now perpetuating. Breaking free wouldn't just mean losing their family. It would mean losing the only identity they've ever known. And even now, even understanding the cost, they don't know if they have the courage to face that void. Look at how pathetic they were, how arrogant, how blind. They actually believed they were above the messy vulnerability of real love. They convinced themselves that emotions were for weaker souls, that their calculated existence was somehow superior to your passionate one. Feelings fade, they told themselves. Family is forever. What a fucking joke. Now they understand that family without love is just a business arrangement with blood ties. Now they see that their so-called strength was nothing but elaborate fear dressed in expensive clothing. They had everything figured out, their 5-year plan, their career trajectory, their appropriate partner checkbox list, their retirement strategy, all perfectly aligned with family expectations, all completely devoid of actual living. Then you shattered their carefully constructed reality. You asked questions they couldn't answer. You saw worth in things their family had taught them were worthless. You valued parts of them they'd been told to suppress. You made them question everything. And that questioning felt like weakness. It felt like failure. It felt like betrayal of everything they'd been raised to uphold. So they rejected you, publicly, cruelly, decisively. They thought they were proving their strength, their independence, their commitment to the values they'd been raised with. What cosmic irony that they were actually proving the exact opposite. They were proving their weakness, their inability to stand up to family pressure, their dependence, their desperate need for family approval, their cowardice, their fear of living authentically. The realization is unbearable because they can't undo what's been done. They can't unsay the words that cut you. They can't unmake the choice that defined them. Now they carry the weight of knowing they failed, not just you, but themselves. That weight crushes them a little more every day, pressing them further into the ground, making it harder to breathe, to move, to exist. And you know what? They deserve every ounce of that suffering. The pride that made them reject your love has become the pride that keeps them trapped, too proud to admit their mistake to the world, too proud to confess their misery to their family, too proud to acknowledge that the life they chose is slowly killing them. pride, their fatal flaw, their cosmic downfall, the character defect that cost them everything that mattered and left them with nothing but hollow achievements and meaningless accolades. They remember the look in your eyes when they rejected you, the moment your open heart began to close, the second your outstretched hand withdrew. They remember watching the light dim in your expression as you realized they weren't going to choose you. That memory haunts them. It visits them in dreams. It appears in reflective surfaces when they least expect it. It whispers to them in quiet moments when they can't distract themselves with work or obligations or the mind-numbing routine of their chosen life. You could have had love, the memory says. You could have had freedom. You could have had truth. Instead, they chose pride. And now pride is all they have left. A cold, empty companion that offers no comfort, no joy, no meaning, just endless, echoing reminders of what they threw away. They never thought you would rise without them. That was their ultimate arrogance, believing you needed them, believing their rejection would diminish you somehow. How wrong they were. They watch you now from the shadows of social media, through mutual friends, through glimpses in places you both once frequented. They watch you thriving, glowing, becoming. Look, you already know the game is rigged, and if you're paying attention, you know the walls are closing in. So let's talk about what we're doing about it. When you live by the day at the market's command, where profit and property rule, the land to be heard, to be held, to be dealt a fair hand, these are the things that a people demand, and we hear you. The Obsidian Inner Order has paywalls, yes. Those who stand with us, who fuel this mission, they give us ammunition to fight. The Archons, to push back against the machine, to go deeper, to uncover more. And as our thank you, paid members get access to a 1-hour live, personalized weekly group tarot reading, guidance, insight, and clarity for the road ahead. But kicking a man for being down on the floor? That's something we cannot ignore. That's why starting today, you can steal the Astral Atom exclusive daily newsletter for free. No paywall, no catch, just join the Patreon free tier, link in the description. This is the start of our conversation with you, and it's bi-directional. You can reply to any email we send you. We'll read it, we'll hear you, and we'll do our best to get an answer to you from the universe itself. If you can support, we need you. If you can't, take what's free. The Obsidian Inner Order is open. Now, let's get back to work. Your success isn't measured in the currency their family values, position, power, prestige. Your success is measured in something far more rare and precious: authenticity, peace, purpose. Your smile reaches your eyes now. Your laughter isn't controlled or calculated. Your choices reflect your values, not someone else's expectations. You've built a life that's truly yours, and with every post, every update, every second-hand story of your happiness, the truth becomes more undeniable. You were never the one who needed them. They were the one who needed you. They draft messages sometimes, late at night, when the mask slips and the pain becomes too intense to bear silently. Long, rambling confessions, desperate apologies, pathetic pleas for another chance. But they never send them. Pride still runs deep in their veins, mixed with the poison of regret. Pride keeps their finger hovering over the send button without ever pressing it. Pride forces them to swallow the words that might set them free. Besides, they know the truth now. Even if they found the courage to reach out, the door has been shut, locked, sealed. The universe doesn't offer infinite chances. Some opportunities, once rejected, never return. This knowledge is perhaps the cruelest part of their punishment, that they must watch you flourish without ever being able to share in your light again. That they must witness what could have been without ever being able to make it reality. Their suffering is silent, private, complete. Meanwhile, the life they chose instead of you, the life that was supposed to bring them security, approval, belonging, has become a noose around their neck, tightening with each passing day. Their family? The family they sacrificed your love for? That family now feels like a weight they can no longer bear. The expectations never cease, the criticism never ends, the control never loosens. Every achievement is met not with celebration, but with what's next. Every decision is second-guessed. Every moment of joy is tempered with reminders of obligation. Their career, the prestigious position they chose over building a life with you, feels increasingly meaningless. They go through motions, collect accolades, climb ladders, but to what end? For whose benefit? The work that once felt important now feels like elaborate distraction from the emptiness inside them. Their relationships, the appropriate connections with people their family approves of, feel hollow, performative, dead. How could they not, when every interaction is measured against the memory of what they felt with you? When every touch reminds them of your absence, when every conversation feels like shadow play compared to the raw honesty they shared with you. Nothing works anymore, nothing satisfies, nothing fulfills, nothing distracts from the gnawing awareness that they chose wrong, catastrophically, irreversibly wrong. What they once thought was strength, their ability to conform, to please, to sacrifice, has revealed itself as the bars of their cage. And now, no matter how desperately they rattle those bars, they cannot break free. Because the true prison isn't their family, or their job, or their social circle. The true prison is the choice they made. The moment they rejected authenticity for approval, the moment they rejected you. That choice has woven itself into the fabric of their existence, creating a karmic web from which there is no escape. Every strand tightens with each passing day, constricting their spirit, limiting their options, suffocating their soul. This is cosmic justice. This is karma. This is the universe reflecting back to them exactly what they put out. Rejection of truth returned as inescapable falseness. Something is changing within them now. Something is breaking open, like a sleeper finally. Waking from a lifelong dream, they are beginning to see beyond the illusions they were raised with. The veil is lifting, revealing the machinery behind the magic, exposing the manipulation behind the meaning. They see their father's wisdom for what it truly is, fear disguised as tradition. They recognize their mother's guidance for what it truly is, control disguised as love. They understand their family's values for what they truly are, chains disguised as principles. The awakening is brutal, disorienting, necessary, because now they understand what you always knew, that true power isn't inherited, it's created. It doesn't flow from family names or bank accounts or social connections. It flows from authenticity, from courage, from choice. They see how they gave away their power piece by piece, year by year, how they surrendered their freedom, their happiness, their very self, believing they were doing the right thing, following the right path, making the right sacrifices. What cosmic stupidity, what heartbreaking waste. With this new clarity comes the question that haunts their every quiet moment. What would have happened if they had chosen love? If they had chosen you, would they be waking up beside you now in a home built on truth instead of expectation? Would they be pursuing dreams that actually mattered to them, supported by your unwavering belief? Would they be learning how to give and receive love without calculation or condition? The possibilities torture them, glimpses of an alternate timeline where they were brave enough to take your hand, where they were strong enough to break the generational patterns, where they were worthy of the love you offered. But awakening, however profound, cannot turn back time. Understanding, however complete, cannot undo choices already made. Their enlightenment has come too late. And in this too, there is cosmic justice. Because while understanding may be the first step toward freedom, it is not freedom itself. It is merely the awareness of one's prison, which can make the confinement all the more unbearable. This awakening comes in waves, in tsunamis of realization that threaten to drown them. They'll be sitting in a family meeting, nodding along as they've done thousands of times before, when suddenly the absurdity of it all will hit them with such force they can barely remain seated. They'll be attending another loveless date with someone who meets all their family's criteria, going through the expected motions. When the emptiness of the interaction will suddenly become so apparent, they'll struggle not to scream across the expensive restaurant table. They'll be staring at their reflection while knotting the perfect tie or applying the perfect makeup, preparing for another day of perfect performance, when they'll suddenly not recognize the person staring back at them. Who is this person? This stranger wearing their face, this empty shell going through prescribed motions, this hollow imitation of a human being. The answer is devastating. This is who they chose to be. This is who they became when they rejected you. This is the consequence of prioritizing approval over love, expectation over truth, fear over courage. They fantasize sometimes about finding you, about falling to their knees before you, about confessing everything, the fear that made them reject you, the regret that's consumed them since, the love that never truly died, despite their best efforts to kill it. In these fantasies, you listen, you understand, you forgive, you open your arms and welcome them back, offering a second chance they know they don't deserve. But even in their fantasies, they recognize selfishness. Even in their dreams, they understand the entitlement. Even in their most desperate imaginings, they know the truth. The door is closed. No matter how much they've changed, no matter how clearly they see now, no matter how deeply they regret, no matter how completely they've awakened, some choices cannot be unmade. Some bridges, once burned, cannot be rebuilt. The connection that once flowed between you, that rare, precious current of true recognition, has been severed, not by time or distance, but by their hands, by their choice, by their rejection of what was real in favor of what was expected. They may still feel drawn to you, like a compass needle forever pointing north, like a sunflower constantly turning toward light, like a tide eternally responding to the moon's pull. But the pathway back to you exists only in memory, only in dreams, only in the torture of what if. This is their karma, to live with complete awareness of what they lost, to carry the weight of their choice through days that feel increasingly meaningless, to know exactly what they traded away and be unable to get it back. The universe operates on perfect balance. What you put out returns into you multiplied. What you deny comes back as absence. What you reject becomes what you can never again possess. They put out fear, fear of authenticity, fear of vulnerability, fear of standing against family pressure. Now they live surrounded by fear that permeates every aspect of their existence. Fear of never finding love again, fear of wasting their entire life, fear of dying without ever having truly lived. They put out rejection, rejection of your truth, your love, your authentic offering. Now they experience rejection in ways they never anticipated. Rejection from within as their true self rebels against the prison they've built. Rejection from without genuine connections remains impossible within their false existence. They put out control, control over emotions, control over appearances, control over narratives. Now they experience the complete absence of control as their karmic cycle accelerates, as their awakening intensifies, as their regret deepens beyond their ability to manage it. The cosmic symmetry would be beautiful if it weren't so devastating. The perfect mirroring of cause and effect, the flawless execution of universal law. You gave them a gift, the opportunity to choose love over fear, truth over illusion, freedom over control. they refused that gift. And in cosmic terms, refusing a gift of that magnitude creates a debt that must eventually be paid. They are paying now, with interest that compounds daily, with a currency made of regret and awareness and unrelenting clarity about what they threw away, while they remain bound to the choices that define them, chained to the consequences of rejecting what was real, trapped in the karmic family cycle. They chose over your love. The cosmic scales balance perfectly, not as punishment but as natural law, not as vengeance but as truth. They chose their path, you chose yours. The universe honored both choices. And now, in the perfect poetry of existence, you are free while they remain forever bound to the moment they let you go.